Hello there. In this video I'm going to show you how you can create a Voronoi pattern ring in a few minutes using Fluid Designer for 3D printing and our Voronoi patterns. So I'm going to use this pattern here, Inkscape Voronoi pattern 002, and I'm going to create a ring. So first of all I'm going to go to the rings folder, and I want all UK size rings. So this is a default object on your system, and at the moment it's 1mm by 5mm, and it's actually UK size H+, that one. Well, I don't want to use that ring, so remove the bevel object to get rid of the thickness there, and let's hide that particular ring. And we're going to use a different object here. I'm going to use P+. So if I just switch that on in view, so this is going to give me the inner diameter of my ring. So I'm assuming my ring is 18.14mm internal diameter. So what I want to do now is to go to File and Append, and if I just go up through the menu system until I get to Groups folder, I'll need to look for Voronoi patterns, and I'm going to use Inkscape Voronoi pattern 02, and I'm just going to append that object from the library. So this is the pattern that I'm going to use to create the ring, and I want to wrap it around this circle. Well, the first thing I need to do is to rotate it, so it's R on the keyboard, X to limit my rotation to the X-axis and 90 degrees. You've got to have it at 90 degrees to the circle when you're going to wrap it around it. Now if I go to view and front view now clearly this object is much too big. So if I press the S key on the keyboard and just scale this right down, and whenever you scale, always do Control A and apply the scale in Fluid Designer. And so there's my object. Now this is a parametric smart object, so if you want to change the thickness of this, we could change it to a thickness of say 1 by 1, 1 by 3, but as you can see when we do that, it's going a bit weird on us, and that's because we've rotated it. And the way to get around that is if we press the tab key on the keyboard and press A to highlight all the control points, because we've rotated it 90 degrees, if we change this mean tilt to 90 degrees, or even let's try it at minus 90, yeah, same thing, it's okay. So I'm going to leave it at 90. That will sort out the holes, but as you can see it's looking a bit strange now because the 1 by 2 isn't working properly. If that's not working properly, just change it to 2 by 1. If I can find it, yeah, there's 2 by 1. So that's restored my thickness now. So it's 1mm here and 2mm there. So the mean tilt will do that. Now I want to wrap this around that curve, so I'm going to use a modifier, and it's a curve modifier, and the object I want to wrap it around is my UKP+. Okay, now as you can see that's not long enough now, so I need to stretch this out. So if we just go to view and front view, and if we just press the tab key, and I want to spread it out just in the X-axis, so it's S for scale, X-axis, I just want to scale it in the X-axis, and press the tab key and Control A and apply that scale, and that's okay. Now I could play around and get that gap even closer if I want, but I'll leave it at that at the moment. But what you should notice now is that this object's on the inside of my circle. Well, that circle is my ring size, so this is internal diameter is going to be far too small at the moment. And the way to fix that is to go to top view, and essentially we've got to move this on the outside of the circle. So what's happening is that the red line there is the X-axis and our object is below the X-axis. We've always got to have it above the X-axis. So if I just pull this up, 1, 2, notice that the object is now just touching the X-axis there, and that's pulled it onto the outside. So my internal diameter now of my ring is exactly 18.14. Okay, so that's how you can create a Voronoi ring using one of our patterns, and you can size it to any size you want. Alright, so good luck in creating your own.